I was a poor little immigrant kid that, at 11, I used to walk up and down the East Colfax in Denver, the Strip, and go into all the dive bars and offer to clean the restaurant or clean the bar for $5 and a plate of food. And I'd split the plate of food with, my little sister. At 14, I was a busboy. When other kids were playing sports, I had a job, full-time job. At 15, I bartended. From there, it's finished high school, went to college. I was going to be a lawyer. And as luck would have it, I met this fiery redhead. It's now my wife. And I just met her. She needed help buying a bed one day. And me being, the 20-something-year-old, I was like, yeah, I'll help you. We went to buy the bed, and next door there was a comic book store, all these comic book artists. I was looking for work to pay for college. And I was tired of bartending. I needed a break. I asked one of the guys, if you were hiring, what would you hire for? And he looks at me and goes, yeah, if somebody can figure out a way to color comics on a computer, you'd have more work than you would know what to do with. I'd painted as a kid. That was my release. That's what I would lose myself in, was drawing and painting. And I had the same art teacher from middle school all the way through high school. She was a classically trained painter. So I learned how to paint and do all of it. So I sat down. I didn't own a computer, didn't even know how to turn one on. And I would go to school, bartend, and then after bartending, I'd go and run a computer for 2 or 3 hours. And I did some samples, and I sent them out. And within 2 weeks, I was being flown all around the US, people asking me how I did this. So I was one of the first computer colorists for the comic book industry back in the 90s, early 90s. The money was amazing. My first 6 months doing comic books back then, I made $78,000 as a 21, 22-year-old kid, right? And so I never went to law school, never made it. I'd gotten accepted, but never made it. I got out of the entertainment design business for a while. I burnt out. One day, I got into this internet marketing business. One day I get a phone call from David Wolf. He's a raw foodist. He was on QVC, launched NutriBullet on QVC. And they had hired the wrong team to relaunch their websites. And I got a phone call, basically said, hey, we heard you're the guy. We hired this team from God knows where. They've been at it for 6 months. We have to launch by this date. We rebuilt all of their websites, helped with the branding. Membership site, best day ever. Launched the longevity conference and did it all in 45 days. So then I became the fix-it guy in their internet marketing business. I would watch internet marketers launch a product and make $1 million in a week, right? And I was like, this is interesting. We know how to launch these products. We're doing all the branding, all the technology, all the design. We're doing everything. Let's try it. ClickBank at that point was only ebooks, e-courses, that type of stuff. And they had been talking about doing a physical product. So we were one of the first physical products to launch on ClickBank. And at the beginning, they were an integral part of our success. Our first year out, we did over 7 million in online sales. It's year 1. We're going on year 3 now. ClickBank has allowed me to simplify the process of launching a product online. ClickBank has allowed me to find marketers to promote my product in a concise and efficient manner. ClickBank has allowed me to pay those marketers efficiently without me having to have a whole accounting department in-house handling all of that. They handle all the accounting. It simplifies our life, where we can then just focus in on creating the best product for our customer that we can. There's easier ways to do it, and ClickBank is that easier way.